Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to our night playthrough in EU4 with me, your host, Luckymarine. And why are we not at war? Why are we not at war already with Cyprus? I don't know. Right, on the boat. Get over to Cyprus. The Ottomans went to war with Mamluks. Cyprus had gone from being guaranteed to being a vassal. Now they have been cut loose. Cut loose and fancy free. Who's underneath us? Oh, it's just all our own ships. Fair enough. Why can we not raid coast here? 86. So in a couple of months. Let's beginning of the month, just because it's a good practice. Oh well. Cyprus decided to chuck their trade fleet into us, which held us up for exactly a month. Oh well. Still, 8 on 4. Good stuff. 8 on 4. Eesh. No leader, because he died. We'll go for the papal protege. Oh, we actually lost stability there, didn't we? Because he died whilst in battle. Come on, we should have this. We do have this. How many do we need? 9. Alright. You lot. Raid. And then pick this mercenary up. Looks like he's going to be needed. Raid again. We'll get 2. And they're back over here. Deposit them, and then we'll go off raiding. Now that'll gradually tick up to 9 and beyond. There's 10 troops there, so we're fine leaving them. Armenian separatists are... it's alright, it's alright. 40 ducats there, great. What mission can we take? Rival arrival. Great Horde. Nope, let's not. Let's wait for something that's worthwhile. No ships that can be upgraded. Good. How are we in terms of our ship limit? Let's build some shipyards then. Let's use our raiding to build shipyards, which will give us more ships, which means we can raid more. Well, not that we can raid more, but what you raid is based on this number. Well, sort of. Let's have a look. We just raided this area here. Looks like we had enough power to raid every single province. Alright, that's fair enough then. But if you don't have enough ships, then there can be some provinces where you just can't raid. And if people have anti-privateering fleets out, that can affect how much you can raid as well. Skip the Ionian Sea, because the only person with ports on the Ionian Sea is us. This will be a big amount. 71 ducats. Great. And here we go. Starting to siege now. 289. Fairly poor for that area, actually. But this is us taking money directly from the Ottomans without actually going to war with them. which I think is great. Verdun has become an elector. Splendid. Crimea has announced us as a rival. That's alright, because we have announced you as a rival. We have a lazy diplomat that I've just spotted, and it looks like Karakronu are having issues. Like it says, this is the Timurids, but you haven't discovered the Timurids yet. If we haven't discovered them, then how do we know who they are? Riddle me that. Right. Genoese noble rebels. It's hard to dig them out. When you're Genoa and you get rebels there, it is really hard to dig them out. And more rebels just stack on top, so you can end up with like 50,000 rebels in a province where Crimea just won't give you access into it. And so they're constantly there. And they're never like separatists. So it never breaks away, it's just constantly there. It's just constantly. And they've never got enough to break your country. So they just sit there forever. It's bizarre. Right, Trebizond. Fabricate a claim on you. And I don't think we could be able to fabricate a claim on any of you. Nope. No possible neighbouring provinces. But you did have Trebizond, who is underneath you, which we will take from your grimy hands. Let's... a call to arms against Cyprus. I don't think so. Improve relations. I'll improve relations with the Papal State. Just because relation improving with the Papal State modifies the percentage bonus you get to your yearly influence. Let's take the Forgive Usury. It's a inflation advisor without paying for an inflation advisor. Pretty much. There we go. Green arrow going down. Great. And we can root out a little bit less corruption, I think. Can we? We can. Splendid. Actually, no, let's keep it at 5. Until we get rid of that corruption. And our ships. Where will our ships come in? Let's split you off here. Trade fleet. Go out and do trader related things in Constantinople, in and around Constantinople, and you come down and blockade. We'll have the galleys blockading. We'll split off the cogs and they can be mothballed. There's no point in them. Yep, still 100%. Fair enough. There's no point in spending money on them. And whenever you want Cyprus, you can fall. We'll maintain the Venetian. Aggressive expansion, 15. We've taken all of this and all of this. The first lump that we took, well no, we just took Georgia. And it was, we had 7 provinces and we took 7 provinces. And people are like, yeah, that's fine. Happens all the time. Right, Georgian separatists aren't ticking up quick enough for it to bother me too much right now. So let's get another province converted under our belt, and then maybe flip back into the what's it called? Theologian. And a mission. Okay, we'll take the trader. What mission is it? Italian ambition. Nope. Points. Good. Sarkazia. Which means you are now independent. You can't... If you're a vassal underneath somebody, you can't have rivals. It's just I don't know, it's a thing that happens. You're not allowed pretty things. If that's the case, let's fabricate claims on you then, shall we? It will allow us to touch tips with Crimea. So Cyprus, straight into Circassia, straight into Trebizond, which will bring in Crimea, but we'll have access to them. All the while keeping the people around us happy, i.e. Austria, Poland, Venice. Lose 10 devotion and they lose loyalty. How is that ever a good thing? Lose 50 admin points. Yeah, fair enough. No, we'll lose the devotion then. Devotion ticks up. The loyalty is already super high. I'm not losing admin points. Did we capture any ships? We did not capture any ships. Oh no. Oh well. Bring you back from Papal State and we'll get Cyprus under our belt. Again, Wallachia is like, oh, I don't like what you're doing. It's like, well, come and do something then, Wallachia. I'm waiting for you. We started out off as a one province minor. Look what we are now. We're growing. That's what we're doing. Well, you're still with the same 3 provinces. It's because I'm butted up to the Ottomans. Well, we are butted up to the Ottomans as well. It's not an excuse anymore. 142. Right, fair enough. So, there's decent development in Cyprus. All the one province miners usually have really good development because it's the only place that they can spend their points. Anyway, anywho, let's get to Cyprus. Let's increase your autonomy, and we'll leave our troops here for the time being. Actually, rooting out of corruptions, and a little bit extra, so that we're actually rooting out corruption, not just treading water. We'll bring maintenance down by half. And we'll have Circassia. You don't have alliances, do you? Nope. Don't need alliances. Of course you don't need alliances. You. Who else did we set? Karakoinlu. And Crimea, yep. Who else do we want to? Let's fabricate on Kara. Allied with Crimea. Interesting. Of course, we'd chosen Trebizond so that we could circumvent the Crimea and Karakoinlu alliance. But if we eat a little bit of Circassia first, it means that in the fight against Trebizond, we can take Crimean land. We might even allow Genoa access to sort his rebels out, because we're kind of like that. Armenian separatists. Can we not? Well, you nearly called. No, don't risk it. Armenian separatists are going to be 16,000. Shit. Nope. Get on a boat. Let's go there. Let's go do it. Okay. Okay. How long before our missionary's done? Gain 1 base tax. Gain 1 base tax. They gained a little bit of influence. So we're exchanging money directly for monarch points here. Admin points of all things. Yes. Yes. All the times, yes. 1 base tax in Athens, 1 base tax in Constantinople. That will be pressing this button once. So 69, well not 69 because it gets higher. You pay more the more times you click the button. So at least about 100 monarch points we made there for 23 ducats. That's always a good idea. Let's go and see if we can. As soon as these calls have come in, the Armenian separatists should calm down a little bit. We may need to fiddle around with putting the theologian in there, swapping him out from the missionary guy when the missionary guy is done with Uria. How are we like for boats? Yep, we can build more. One. Yeah, start with that. Let's start getting some resemblance of a trade fleet going on. Start. Good stuff. Start pressing the Ottomans here for a bit more of the money. Yan and Yerevan. Could I not increase autonomy here or something? I don't know. So 12,000 troop. How many we can make states? North Kurdistan. We're at our limit in terms of troops. The ability to want more land. You can have this. And Cyprus lacks a core for a tiny bit. 15% overextension by itself. Claims are falling off on Venice, but that's alright for the time being. Manpower reserves, they do need to recover. However, Sarkasia though. Gaining cores, what's that done to Armenian separatists? Van and Yerevan. Van, what's the problem, bro? War exhaustion, overextension. Advancement of True Religion Act. Yeah, I know. Religious unity, non-accepted culture. Fair enough. Separatism. Yeah, those rebels that we're knocking about. In everywhere else, separatism is lower. Oh no, it's not. Separatism will decay by 0.5 yearly. Well, I don't really want to be fighting the Armenian separatists. There's a lot of them. 15,000? 15,000. We'll wait for the missionary to finish up. We'll swap out for the theologian for the -2 to unrest. What is our base unrest at the moment? -1.29. And shit's still kicking off. Fair enough. It was always a difficult area of the world to control. Especially when you've got religions vying for power. Armenia itself. 3 provinces at 19 development. That's not really the numbers that I like, but I do have one at 18. And we do have space. We do have space for it. Go on then. Right, we're going to have to lock somebody on Venice, I think. Otherwise, that alliance is going to break. We'll fabricate claim on you. You've got an alliance with Crimea. Alright, we'll send an insult anyway. Because why not? So, Circassian, Crimean fight. Peace out of that. Declare war on Trebizond. Bring Crimea straight back into it. But make sure that we take at least access. We will. We'll end up with access to Crimea. Cycle them straight back into the war before they can even recover. But before then, we need to again get over the hump of these rebels. We can't risk being at war and having 15 stacks plop on us. Who demands land? Clergy. You're all very needy. Do you know that? Needy bastards. Alright, well. War exhaustion is coming down. I could do with probably boosting stability. That would help. Would it help enough? Would it be worth it? The -2 for the theologian, the stability, the separatism that comes down by 0.5% or 0.5 point every year. I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth it. I think we goad them into a fight and we fight them. Everything else, all the other separatists, they're manageable. I mean, even the separatists. There won't be many of them. No, just Greek separatists. $8,000. Yeah, that's nothing. On the grand scheme of things, that's nothing. Once this call comes in, actually, this number will come down to about 0.5, maybe 1, something like that. Nope, I think we goad the Armenian separatists into a fight. We fight them, we get rid of them. And then if needs be, with the other ones, we'll swap in the theologian. I mean, the theologian will halt these in the tracks. It'll halt the Georgian separatists in their tracks. Same with the Orthodox. Well, not so much the Orthodox, but yeah. How long would it take? Oh, we won't be able to convert Cyprus anyway. Not yet. So, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I find myself waffling. So, I've been Luckymarine. You, as always, have been amazing. Join us in the next episode when we probably will goad the Armenians into a fight. We'll fight them, we'll win, hopefully. We have the money to merc spam. We'll fight them, we'll win, we'll move on from there. We'll have the minus 100 that you get from putting down rebels. Recent uprising, minus 100. Separatism in Constantinople is now down to 5. And coming down every single year. Without that recent uprising, we'd be looking at something like 9% unrest. Or 9 points of unrest in Constantinople. Because we decreased autonomy. But I wanted to decrease autonomy to make Constantinople work for us. And it is doing it. It's doing the job. Anyway, come back in the next episode and we will fight Circassia. Hopefully. Well, we'll fight our rebels first, but until then, do take care.